So, understanding last time intention was not to scare you and not to do Vastrika, but the intention was to warn you the real purpose of Ujjayi Pranayama is to calm your body so down so that even any or the slightest unnecessary extra movement of the heart is prevented. And your attention goes easier, lot more introvert. So bearing this thing in mind, it is so important to understand the difference between the two. Very essential that we tell ourselves never ever to do two activities together. And what I meant by two activities, one for sure, Ujjayi Pranayama with anything else. Any asana or any other so-called exercises, harder or faster, Surya Namaskar, and even change of position. When we change our position, that is also equivalent to doing some asana. And you will notice that even if you change your leg position, upper to lower and lower to upper, at that time, if you would observe momentarily, your heartbeats and heart pressure, blood pressure will go up. Even though it may come down, but at that very moment, by doing Ujjayi, by creating slightest pressure or the friction at the carotid arteries transmitted, even though that pressure will have immediate impact on the heart. So on one side, you're asking heart to work harder. On the other side, we are asking heart to slow down. Which instruction the heart has to follow? Both are coming from your nervous system anyway. So it is the same instructor asking speed up and slow down. And when I say instructor, it's your central nervous system. Because carotid arteries, carotid sinuses is under central nervous system, and so is your automation system. Anything that we do, any activity, any thinking is from the automation nervous system that automatically will increase the blood pressure and heartbeats will go up. That means faster delivery of the blood. And forget the other highly energizing pranayama like Vastrika and Kapalabhati. So, dear friends, once again, it has been so commonly used nowadays that people even they call it a Ujjayi breath. So they do Ujjayi breath with Surya Namaskar. They do with Vastrika, Kapalabhati, Nadi Shodhan, and you name it, what they don't do. Because they, in their head, they want energy, energy, and energy. Purpose of pranayama is totally different. If we are a student of the great master, Sri Patanjali. So, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. So in order to reach to pratyahar, that in plain English word, introvert, meaning your mind is not tempted to go out and learn something else. Instead of that, you are guiding your mind to go introvert and explore the enormous possibility. And that possibility is to first reach to state of inner silence. So, dear friends, I would like to mention, no matter which pranayam you do, after doing that pranayam, if your mind is not quiet and you do not have any tendency to know anything extra, including God's name, understand. I don't know why am I bringing God's name into picture, because we have been so brainwashed that if nothing is there, or along with yoga, we bring in japa yoga. At the time of our mind is neither in the japa means chanting, or doing pranayam to go introvert. That is the reason I said do not do this thing two together. Whereby I'm not asking don't chant Soham, don't chant Om, but then do not restrict yourself with a limitation of number of counts and keep on counting, oh, did I do 21 or 22 times Om? No, the sole purpose is to go introvert, and a stage comes, you are alert and awake, but you don't know you are even chanting Om because you are becoming Om. It's not by chanting Om or chanting mantra Soham, you become a pure lover, but you explore yourself that you are not a lover, but you are the love. And that stage comes when you see profound state of silence. And how often we have learned silence is not to talk, but not having anything to talk. It's that profound fathoming, and it brings us to a totally different stage. Understanding these stages are so powerful. I'm not going to describe would you get in the state of silence, because that is also not to be gotten. It happens because you are that. You have it. Or you are that. So that when you are that, why do you have to get it? But what prevents you from what you are is your mind. And that's your mind going outward and to know the outside world. So that you can say, oh, Ujjayi, yeah, I know Ujjayi. And who you have to say to the others? You know doesn't mean you have that experience. You have read, you have learned from somebody. And we often say, be silent, but do we ourselves know the beauty of silence? We often talk about the soulmate and, oh, you love everybody, oh, you love yourself. But yoga is that science that tells you not to be lover, but explore you yourself are love. So now, coming to Ujjayi Pranayama as to how to do. Number one, understand one point for sure, that lighter the body, better are the chances of reaching to the state of doing Ujjayi Pranayama. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, I believe, and he was mentioning to me that I attend your yoga class every Wednesday. I rush through my dinner, listen to, and you don't do this. That's what he said. I rush through my dinner and I am ready at 7 o'clock. I watch you on the Zoom and I correct myself and learn what wrong I was doing so that next day when I do it, I will not make the same mistake. But I don't do everything because, I just had dinner. Understanding this point, he thought that he will please me, but he gave me a shock. No matter what I talk, no matter what I say. And even in this, if you do the movement, how often we have been explained that digestion is one of the activities of parasympathetic nervous system. And when you're doing asanas, any kind of asana or breathing or pranayama, you are doing sympathetic nervous system's activity. And these two things do not go together. And when I don't say don't go together, that means they are contradicting. And when they are contradicting, what choice do they have? They wind up into some irrecoverable diseases. And that may not happen immediately. They may be waiting for you to reach 60, 70, or 80, or sometimes even sooner. And those can include cancer as well. So you rather not come to the class and don't do I will not feel insulted at all. And to be honest, I will not even be missing you. Because it's you. You have to choose. You have to have a willingness to learn and genuinely learn. This is your sadhana. This is your singular journey. And you do not have to learn yoga sadhana after you become sick. When you are not sick and when you are healthy, now understand Ujjayi, when you are healthy, that means your heartbeats and blood pressure is very healthily normal or below normal. And at that time, your body really doesn't need any extra activity from your heart. And you can afford to calm down your system. And once you calm down, your brain neural activities reduces. You're alert, but your thinking, energy spent in thinking is reduced. Once your mind is not active, the returning of the mind to its original state, it is easier. Mind you, Ujjayi is not that easy. So what you really want to do, and no matter what I explain right now, I know some of you still will not do it, but I will say good luck to you. And when I say you will still not do it, I will say do not go to the second step of Ujjayi at least for a year. Bear with me, I'm very serious. And if you go, what can I say? You will just be doing an activity. And the purpose of Ujjayi is to retract from doing activities. So, coming back to, and not only for this, almost all the pranayam, we were told that first breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the lips. This is prerequisite. It may not be the part of pranayam, understand. Prerequisite meaning, when you breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the lips, you are physically, musculoskeletal system slows down. You are taking care of the fatigue. You are taking care of the physical tiredness. And slowly you are calming your mental activity. So at least 5 times Om and chanting and enjoying it. And when you are chanting, make sure after U, Ma, you give enough time for the silence. That does the real trick and not Om. And don't think that by chanting Om, you are doing punya. Forget pap and punya. This is the punya. So calming down your mind. And then you go to mental chanting of Om. That will further calm your mind down. And it will feel that your mind, your skull region is so calmed down, and so that there is nothing in the skull. You may feel slight lightheaded. You may feel some slight silver or the golden type light or very dull pressure. Those are very positive signs. And that also, all this activity, you must not do when you are excessively tired. When you are excessively tired, as soon as you do this, what will happen? You will begin snorasana, and you think you are doing pranayam, but you are not really doing. You are in a tandra state, meaning half asleep and half alert, and you don't know when you will fall asleep. So entire yoga sadhana is the stage of awareness. You should be alert and awake. So then you do 5 times, minimum 5 times, mental chanting of Om. Your spine is erect, your neck is erect, and by the time, if you haven't closed your eyes will, eyelid will slowly drop. You will not have to close the eye. You will also not be going outward. Your mind will not have to drive or go for a coffee or tea or snack or whatever. You will even forget that you did not have dinner and you're just enjoying it. And at that time, you see the sound that I'm making right now, you do not necessarily have to have your mouth open, but I'm just keeping it open so that you can hear it. And that is this sound. And while making this sound, when you are not doing it, and if you put your hands over here, you will find very delicate, subtle vibration again. But then you can close your mouth and make this sound. And this you do it 11 number of times. After doing 11 number of times, you may not want to continue. It's not more number of times you have to do it, but you will see as you keep on making this sound, you will feel like doing nothing and you will be drifting into the better silent state. And somewhere in the middle, you even do not feel like doing Ujjayi Pranayama. Just be there in that state of silence. So this is how Ujjayi Pranayama need to be done. So for the successive stages of evolution will take place when you do not feel like doing anything and you just want to be there with an awareness, leave me alone. That you're not telling anybody else, mind you. Leave me alone just by yourself. And thereafter, please don't ask me, Sanaji, I've been there sitting for 10 minutes. What should I do? That means your still mind is active and you want to go somewhere. No, what you really need to do is just observe silence and sit. Really speaking, you were doing Ujjayi Pranayama to reach to that state of doing nothing. But after reaching there, when you say what to do next, that means you haven't been there. So, and let me mention a few more steps on it, which I do not want you to do at least for a year. And that means you initially, for at least a year, keep on reaching and creating the sound so that you can hear it. Later on, you lower the volume of that sound so that even you yourself may not hear, and definitely not the person sitting next to you. So understand to that degree of lowering the sound. In that way, you will be so much more aware, introvert, and the quality of your silence will be that high. And that is your stage number 2, which I'm suggesting to do at least after a year. And that too, only if you are really interested in meditation. So with this, dear friend, I hereby end the chapter on Ujjayi Pranayama. You're welcome to discuss anything on Ujjayi and or any other pranayama anytime you want to. I'm always yours, but I will not be talking much. It will be your own experience will be guiding you further. So with this, Hari Om. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. And a few more words, dear friend. Whenever you're walking on the path of sadhana, please make sure that you allow a couple minutes to slow down and center yourself, discipline yourself, and be ready to receive. But if you're rushing to the last minute, may God help you. Because the sheer reason you are rushing, and by the time you sit and calm down, it may take quite a while. So the purpose of centering is this, is to calm down and keep your mind and body ready to receive. Hari Om.